welcome back to Build with the Boys. We are now rolling on with this month's delivery, and we are building issue 27 of Hachette's Build the Titanic. Now, what I can tell you with this one is it's disappointing. Okay, that's the easiest way I can say it. 27 is disappointing, 28 is disappointing, 29 is disappointing, and I would imagine 30 is disappointing as well. Why is it disappointing? Well, we've done it before, so we built these before. However, we built them a lot quicker. So I am mad at it, and I know how this works, right? So we're building reciprocating engine number 2. And the difference is we received pretty much all of the parts for reciprocating engine number 1 in issue 3. So we kind of got the hit. So we had the engine. That's not what happens with this one. So this one's spread over about 6 issues. I'm not even joking. So we don't even do half of it in this issue, and then in next issue we mirror what we've just done here, and then in issue 29, we'll get a little bit more for it. Issue 30, we'll get the base for it. It happens, right? Now, I'm no stranger to this, and a lot of you that do part works won't be either. Now, the reason why this happened is not because you've been skimped on this one, it's because you've been spoilt with issue 3. So typically what happens when they run a part work is there are 4 issues put out as a trial, which happened with this one. And in that trial, you get a kind of taster of all the things that are to come. So they tend to give you something pretty and something complete, so you've at least got something to display. So if you look at what we got in the first one, we got the forecastle in issue 1. We got the whole piece in issue 2. Those 2 pieces of hull to go together when normally you only get 1 piece of hull. See where I'm going with this? In issue 3, we got pretty much, I'd say 70% of a reciprocating engine in issue 4, and also a smoke generator as well. And that's how this works. They give you these things to lure you in. Right? So it's like, oh, I like this, you know, and to get you to buy the model. And typically, stores that just have them on the shelf, ones you haven't asked a newsagent to put it by for you, will carry, I don't know, anything from 4 to 12 before, you know, if you want it, you got to reserve it, or they stop stocking it. So that's what's happened here. They did it with Iron Man. So if you built the Iron Man, for example, you got the entire left hand in issue 2. So issue 2, his entire left hand was built. When it came to building the next right hand, it was like 5 issues. So like when you built the palm, one issue you built 2 fingers, and you built another 2 fingers, and you built the thumb, and you built the wrist, and it's like, it happens. It's a little bit greasy, right? Because you're thinking, hold on, you put it all in one pack before, but it's just the economics of it. It's how it's balanced out. So unfortunately, there is not loads to do in this one. There really isn't. And we've done it before. We're just doing a mirror image of it. So it is what it is. So we'll get on and get it done. I know it's disappointing when you kind of you wait the month and then it turns out and you go, oh. It's like 20, 28 and 20, 20, where are we? 24, 25, 26, 20, yeah, 27 and 28 just feel like the 2 of them together feel like half a pack, but it is what it is. Now at the end of this one, we will be talking about Titanic 2. Now I know what you're thinking, well, I watched 26, Scott, and you spoke about Titanic 2 in that one. Not the film. I'm talking about the proposed ocean liner Titanic 2. And when that is going to set sail, if that's going to set sail. And we'll talk all about that at the end, because I've had a lot of people message me about it, funnily enough. I've had a lot of comments on here, did you know about Titanic 2? And I've had emails as well, have you heard about Titanic 2? I have read about Titanic 2, and I will tell you all about Titanic 2 at the end of this, and I will give you the most honest update on when or if you will ever see Titanic 2 set sail. Anyway, without further ado, let's get cracking with this. If you haven't yet, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button if you're not in the gang yet, and come and join us on this voyage. It's a lot of fun. It really is. And it's as simple as just taking your finger, hitting that subscribe button, and that's it. That's all you got to do. It's not going to cost you anything. We don't need details, nothing like that. Honestly, we're not a cult. We're not trying to to recruit you into anything weird. We're not, you know, we don't want your credit card details. We're just nerdy guys building models, and we'd love you to come and be one of us. So hit that subscribe button and join our gang. It's a lot of fun. Let's crack on with this. It's a very short one, but let's get it done. Okay, so here's everything we get inside issue 27. Now, you're going to recognize all of this. You just are. So we don't need these parts just yet. So we're not focusing on any of that. We are focusing purely on these pieces here. You recognize all this, you do. I mean, if you're any more than 3 issues in, you recognize all these parts. So we've got one there and these ones here. And we're going to quite simply put these together. Now, again, I mean, remember how to do this. So, oh, I've got 2 stuck there. It's interesting. Okay. So, it's literally the curved piece goes on the center piece, and that piece goes on the lower piece. So that's how we're going in there, in there. One more. So again, yeah, I'll show you up close. I mean, you already know how to do this, so it's a bit of a weird tutorial, this one, I'm afraid. But, you know, for belts and braces, let's do the whole thing. That's that one done. 2 more. Just that one. And then 1 more. That's it. So that's all 4 of those built. Simple enough. Now all we got to do is we're going to take the little arm there that attaches to the bottom part, and we are done. So with our mouth facing up, we're going to take the smaller of the 2 heads, and that's going to fit into the bottom. So that's that one done. Smaller 2 heads again. This is giving resistance. Is that one done? Oh dear. That one. And then finally, that one. Now, we're not fitting them in this stage. We're not fitting them. So keep your big bag, stick them back in the bag. Next thing we're going to work on is the actual engine itself. Okay, here we go. That one in. There we go, nice and firm. Okay, now we want the second one with the bump on top. That was that one there. And that's going to drop it into here like so. Another one of these miniature screws. I tell you, they're very big on the tiny screws in this build, aren't they? You think it'll ship this ground, we have these great big bolts, but no, we've got the world's smallest screws in every issue. There's always a screw in there, how bizarre. How bizarre. Okay. So that's that one in, and then by process of elimination, this is our final one, which is going to just fit in there like that. Grab our little screw. Again, just touch the tip into 3-in-1 oil. And then here we go. And that is complete. So that's what we'll look like from the other side. So we're making a mirror image of the other one. So you can see these holes here are on the other leg on the first reciprocating engine. But that, unfortunately, is it for stage 27. We're doing no more with the engine. that is all she wrote for this one. So let's have a chat. So that's it. That is 27 complete. My 20's all over the place at the moment, and it's as I said, it's disappointing to have done it before, and I mean it's still going to look lovely. It's still a lovely thing. It's necessary. We have to build the second engine at some point. It's just the way it is. I'm chomping at the bit for new parts, of course I am, but this is the way it is. It's what we've got. So we can either be Hitchens about it and whine and be woe is me, or we can be Lightoller about it and stiffen up our upper lips and get on with it, and that's what we're going to do. If you were just sticking around for the build instructions, thank you for stopping by. Please remember to hit the like button, and if you haven't yet, hit that subscribe button. It helps us massively. If you've been watching all of them up to now, if you're 27 viewings in, you might as well hit the subscribe and be here for all of them, because we are going all the way to the end. For those of you sticking around for our Titanic talk, we are talking about Titanic II. What the bloody hell's Titanic II? Well, Titanic II is an ocean liner replica of the original Titanic. And it was announced in 2012. So in 2012, there was an announcement that Clive Palmer was going to build Titanic II. Now, for those who don't know Clive Palmer is a billionaire from Australia who made his money largely in mining. So ore, nickel, zinc, things like that. That's what he meant. I believe zinc, I might be wrong. This is the man. This is Clive Palmer. Now, I'm going to be very careful what I say, because Clive Palmer isn't against suing YouTubers. He's not against it. I'm not saying he's done it, so you got to watch everything you say. But he's not against it that I know of, allegedly. But he is the man behind Titanic II, and it was going to be made by his company Blue Star Line. We're going to make Titanic II, and it was announced in 2012, and its maiden voyage was going to be in 2014, which is remarkable. You think, wow, you're going to build a boat that big in 2 years, a ship that big, that grand in 2 years, and set sail. Sounds like it's not going to happen, and guess what? It didn't. So 2014 came and went. It was the early 2014 it was going to set sail. Didn't. Okay, so we're told, well, it's just a slight delay. Late 2014 it will set sail. And you're thinking, well, okay, it's going to be something fairly minor then, because a year isn't much in terms of, ocean liner building. But so late 2014 came and went, never set sail. And it's just been delayed. It's been delayed. In 2015 they released a statement saying it's just been delayed. It'll be ready to set sail in 2016. Another interesting thing happened in 2015. 2015, Clive Palmer bought the Coolum Resort in Australia, which used to be the home of the Australian PGA Tour. Which is, you think, well, okay, well, that's a good investment. That's a sound investment. That's a good thing. You're going to run it as a luxury 5-star resort? No, Clive had a different idea. Clive decided he was going to have a real-life Jurassic Park on site. Now, I know you're hearing this and thinking you're making this up. I swear to you, I'm not. So Clive Palmer decided he was going to build Jurassic Park on a golf course. It sounds weird, but I mean, I can't be the only one. When you think 5-star resort golf, you think dinosaurs, don't you? No? Me neither. So that's what he was going to do. And any of you thinking you're making this up, I'm not. Here is the 5-star resort. It happened. It opened. That's why there was a dinosaur behind him in the picture. And here is the name of the resort. The self-title inspired Palmersaurus. Here it is. Cool, right? Now, so he bought like 300 animatronic dinosaurs to fill this place up with. And I know what you're thinking. You think, well, he's a billionaire. These are really good animatronics, right? Yeah, not so much. Not so much. I mean, when we talk animatronics, we're not talking like the animatronics you get at Disney World. We're talking about, an animatronic that just nods his head up and down or side to side. And there were buttons that said roar, and you could press the button, it would roar. And the star attraction This is such a ridiculous bloody story. The star attraction was an 11-meter high T-Rex called Jeff. Because again, I mean, you want a name that's going to strike fear into the so why not Jeff? So Jeff the T-Rex was the star attraction, and here's Jeff on the golf course. I mean, I genuinely feel bad for Jeff because he's on that golf course. He probably wants a game of golf, but as a T-Rex, there's just no way. I mean, maybe with his tail, I don't know, but maybe that would be against the PGA rules. But that wouldn't matter because as a result of this beautiful 5-star golf resort being turned into Palmasaurus, the PGA withdrew and never held the PGA there again, which is a fairly massive hit. I mean, when your 5-star resort pretty much relies on the golf and people being able to go and play a PGA Tour course, I mean, filling it with dinosaurs and pretty much shooting yourself in the foot so you move away from it probably wasn't the best move. So where does Titanic fit into this? Well, during that, he announced Titanic, and there was this big press conference, and he's building Titanic II, and blah blah blah, and it's all this is going on, but it just keeps getting delayed. So, as an example of this one, the last that was said about it was in 2016. In 2018, sorry, they said that Titanic II was going to set sail in 2022. It is 2022 now, and Titanic II has not set sail. Not only is Titanic II not set sail, not a single bolt has been put into anything. There is no Titanic II. Okay, that it doesn't exist outside of a design, outside of an idea, outside of a concept. It doesn't exist, even though they've been working on it for close to 10 years now at a cost of $6 million. Now, how do I know they put $6 million into it? Well, the reason why I know that is because one of Clive Palmer's businesses went into administration, and it was a nickel mine, and the administrators noticed that there was a $6 million variance in the accounts, and the $6 million have been taken from that business and put into Blue Star Line to build Titanic 2. You can't do that. That's not how that works. You can't just do that. But that's what happens. So the administrators were looking to get their money back, because if business has gone bust because a large chunk of its operating capital has been invested into a phantom boat, there are issues there. Allegedly, I mean, I don't know. There might be a legitimate reason why it happened, but that's what was said. But that's where we are. So there is no Titanic 2. It doesn't exist. There's no frame for it. There's no one's laid any. But there's nothing. There's no. I mean, laying the keel when you build a ship is the main. That's how it begins. You begin by laying the keel, and laying the keel takes a long time, a really long time. It took them 7 years to build the Titanic, for Christ's sake. So I know technology's changed, but it still takes a long time to lay a keel, and that hasn't even begun. So you're dreaming. Anyone that sends me it's set and sail in 2022, it is 2022. Where is it? It doesn't exist. They're not going to build a boat in 4 months. It's not going to happen. This boat, I seriously doubt will ever see the light of day because, again, Clive Palmer is kind of famous for these very outlandish ideas. I mean, one of them was he opened he was going to build a Zeppelin, a financially viable Zeppelin, and people were going to be able to buy tickets to fly in a Zeppelin. So this is all true. So I'm sorry to kind of to crap on it, but it's one of those things that keeps popping up on social media and things like that. They're like, did you know a Titanic 2 is? It isn't. It isn't. You can go and do your research into this for yourself. You can search Blue Star Line, you can search Clive Palmer, you can search Titanic 2, and you'll see everything I've told you is correct. So if you are holding out for the day you get to ride on Titanic 2, I wouldn't hold your breath. And I mean, I hope it suffers a better fate than Jeff, who sadly, due to a short circuit, caught fire. And this is what Jeff looks like now. Woe is Jeff. Jesus Christ, what a bizarre, weird story that horribly now gets linked into the history of the Titanic, because at some point this is going to come up, be it 50 years or 100 years from now, someone's going to mention the Titanic II. Not to mention it's in incredibly, incredibly bad taste. Now, those of you who have been watching my channel, and particularly the Titanic build since the beginning, will remember all the way back in issue 1, I did tell you I had 2 personal stories relating to the Titanic, and I was going to tell you the first one we hit 50, and the second one we hit 100. And I promise I will do that. But what I can tell you is I think Titanic 2 is incredibly bad taste. I think it's very disrespectful to anybody who lost their lives on that ship. I think it's very disrespectful to the memory of the men that fought to save people on that ship. I think it's disrespectful. I can understand where it'd be like, oh well, I think it's paying homage to them. No, it's not. It's a money grab. It's a money grab. That's what it is. It's a money grab. Build a museum. You want to pay homage to them? Build a museum. You know, don't build a 5-star liner where you're going to charge 10 grand a ticket. That's not paying homage to anybody, is it? How much of that money is going to the families of the deceased? Probably none. You know, so it's not. No. The reason why I'm bringing this up is because the one story I'm going to tell you when we hit 50 involves an amusement ride that I was involved in very briefly, themed to the Titanic, and I dare to be a Daniel. I don't hold back. If I think something is wrong ethically or morally, job be damned, I will speak out about it, and I did. And I probably shot myself in the foot, but this was for a proposed theme park attraction based around the Titanic. But that is just a teaser, because you're going to have to get to issue 50 to hear the full story about it. But you won't believe me, but I swear it's true. That's it for this one. If you haven't yet, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. And we just love having you here, we really do. You can contact us at buildwiththeboys@outlook.com, and in a world where you can be anything at all, just be nice. And we will be back very shortly with the final pack of this month, issue 28. Take care.